This first one is called Remnants. At 8:30 on Thursday mornings, Mrs. Cohen would roll deep canvas bins out onto the breezeway in front of her dry goods store. Those bins brimmed with exotic treasures, remnants of velvet, bolt ends of silk, ruby red polished cotton, and stern gray wool. My mother and I were always among the first to dive into that sea of possibilities. This print here would make a nice shirt for sister. This deep green chenille, bathrobes for Christmas gifts. By 9 o'clock, 20 women stooped over the bins, laughing and talking, consoling and condoling, gossiping and shushing, exchanging knowing looks and arched eyebrows above their daughters' heads. By 9:30, the bins would be empty, the week's news disseminated, the judgments made. The scraps and pieces of our small town, bundled and tied, taken home to be cut to pattern and sewn into something respectable. Work is love made visible. After working all day, at home or at the garment factory, or taking care of her mother or her grandchildren, after cooking dinner and cleaning up the kitchen, my granny would uncover her sewing machine and stitch the family together. Her love for me is a green paisley dress with a matching purse, constructed when I was 8 and tucked into bed in the next room, the sewing machine humming into my dreams. Her love for me is a 1970s high-fashion three-piece suit, bell-bottom pants, vest, blazer with broad lapels, made of faux suede patchwork in orange and brown. Even now, I can recite every article of Granny's handiwork, proclaim the delight of something made just for me, sing the alchemy of love and labor, testify that after working all day, day after day, my granny would sit at her sewing machine and attire me in vestments of love. It's called On the Death of Your Cat, Jack Kerouac, for Frank Marmon.
Yes.
You remember Jack Kerouac. He was heartbroken. It was a bad year for you. First Ginsberg, then Gogieski, then Jack Kerouac sliced short by an anonymous car right there in front of the house. Jack, you said, in a letter that began, "What is it, the moon?" was enthusiastic about everything, even cars, liked to luxuriate during a ride around town swamped in soft upholstery. His tail long and black and hard, giving you rhythms for your poetry with its whomp whomp on the floor. Your friend Ginsberg had his full complement of years, his passing a reminder of revolutions incomplete. Gogieski left too soon, alone and howling in the dark fields and northern lights of Michigan, without the accolades his poetry deserved. Poor young Jack Kerouac had to be spaded in between an eye doctor appointment and an argument with an inebriated poet. Jack Kerouac, he was my friend, you say. The same goes for Ginsberg and Gogieski and that damn drunken poet on the phone. Do you wonder if you still have enough friends to fill at least one handset of fingers and thumb? Be careful. Be sure to count me. Then leave the gate open for another existentially cool cat named Alan or Carol or Claude to bebop rhythmically wompity-womp through your door. Morning Star. On Long Island, in the quietude of morning, a man rises from his bed, then tiptoes sock-footed on the stairs, avoiding the squeaky one halfway down. He alone is awake. His son sleeps, clutching the violin that still resonates with something Russian and passionate. His wife dreams always of cypress trees, heavy with Spanish moss and the bayou's pungent hum. He opens the back door and pulls on his boots, remembering his mother who needed him too much, his father distanced by despair. He considers his footprints solitary in the snow and wonders how it came to be this way, that the poems wake him in the night and drive him out the door when Venus rules the sky, early, early before first light, to find redemption in the rhythm of the shovel and in the blisters on his hands. For Michael. Listen, one day when you were 3, in the time of living in the mountains, in the time of waterfalls and rainbows, Hummingbird was lost. Trapped inside a window, crumpled in the corner of the sill, his body heaving. I scooped him up with my mommy hands, the hands you gave me to hold you when you cried. You caressed his feathers shimmering iridescent in the late afternoon light. Outside, under a trembling aspen, I raised my arms, opened my hands, and Hummingbird flew toward the sun. I want to tell you this story so you know that the most unlikely hours hold manifest blessings. I want you to know I have learned to let go. Grandpa's bouquet. Late in the evening, I sit by your recliner, your hands rough from plowing gardens and tending cattle. Caress my little girl hair, and soon I'm off to sleep. Cracker Jacks, rock candy, and root beer follow me into dream. At first light, you wake me asking, are you going to sleep your life away? Granny has bacon and eggs frying in the kitchen. I wash up and follow the familiar aroma to the table. It is Saturday, sale day at the stockyards, and you have promised me a new horse. One splash of Listerine, one of Old Spice, and you're ready to go. You split a piece of juicy fruit for the road, half for me, half for you. I am your shadow, a strange one among all the boys and men at the sale. The air in the barn is stained with red dust, thick with the stench of manure and cigarettes and chew. You bid on horses. I hold my breath and try to keep my ever-moving hands out of the sight of the auctioneer. The Copperpenny Bay comes home with us. Back home, you celebrate our success by slicing open summer in the guise of the greenest watermelon. Stabbing a choice piece from its meaty red heart, you proclaim its virtues. I bury my face into a crescent. Sweet, sticky juice runs down my chin. Our cows can smell watermelon 2 acres away. They line up among the black-eyed Susans at the back fence and jostle for position when we toss them the spent rinds. Soon the evening's first lightning bug sends up a tender signal. Crickets and tree frogs take up their place in the choir. I nuzzle down into your shoulder, inhaling your essence and the odors of the day.